Chapter 1, Apollo's Cradle. June 13th, 1911, Pennsylvania, somewhere in the Appalachian Mountains. A small coyote peeks from behind a bush, his ears held at attention, his eyes wide as he watches an unfamiliar sight. A group of 3 men walk along an overgrown deer trail, surrounded by a dense forest. It's a hot day, hotter than usual. The forest smells of pine trees, with a strange aroma of burnt meat. None of the men seem to notice or care about the smell in the air. Each is exhausted. They are dirty and wet with sweat. The one at the back has the largest load by far. 2 bags hang from his shoulders, one containing a few days of camping gear. The other holds camera equipment with a wooden tripod strapped to the side. Squinting his eyes, he looks up toward the setting sun, toward the pink sky creeping through the forest. He stops and stares down the trail, stares into the back of the other 2 ahead of him. The man in the middle is shorter, a city boy, wearing an old straw hat that he'd probably bought from a street vendor on the way here. The man in front is the reason he's here, dressed like he's on an African safari, a well-off journalist who clearly has money to toss around. Still standing there, holding the heavy straps on both shoulders, he wonders to himself why he's even doing this. His dad had told him not to, told him he needed to help back on the farm. Something about helping a journalist with camera equipment in the mountains had sounded better than moving bushels of hay and animals. Now he was not so sure. How much longer did the journalist want to go? He lets out a sigh, realizing he doesn't have another inch of ground to give to the man in front. He drops the bags. A loud snap cracks out when they hit the ground. The 2 men ahead stop when they hear it. They turn and look back toward their assistant. "Dean, what the hell are you doing?" says the journalist as he starts walking toward his assistant. "Oh, God, the camera! Did you break the camera?" "I'm done, Mr. Creedmoor. You paid me for 3 days. That sun right there says the 3rd day is over. I'm going home. I should have been on my way back yesterday, and I'm sure Richie here can handle the camera." "Right, Richie?" says Dean as he bends over and digs through the bag with the camping equipment. Pulling out an old canteen, he takes a long swig. "I'm not even really sure what the hell y'all are out here looking for. Burnt corpses? Old ranger stations? I've hardly slept because of those damn animals or whatever you're trying to tell me is making that racket." "Oh, come on, Dean. What do you want, more money? I'm sure Creedmoor would be more than happy to oblige, right, Creedmoor?" says Richie, looking at his friend, the journalist. "I'm certainly not carrying that anywhere," says Richie, pointing at the camera bag that Creedmoor is stomping toward. Creedmoor bends down and examines the equipment inside. "Yeah, okay, listen, young man. You're lucky the camera isn't destroyed. You're replacing this tripod before Richie and I leave town," Creedmoor says, sitting on the ground near the open bag, holding the large camera up to his face to inspect. A furious look simmers into relief as he puts the camera back into the bag and gets up. "Listen, you stick with us for another 2 days. We'll consider the tripod square. Deal?" Shuffling and huffling noises can be heard from the bushes. You guys hear that?" "No, sorry, Creedmoor, you're on your own. I'm already going to be gone days longer than I had planned, and I got people that rely on me. You're welcome to come back with me," he says, as he turns and begins to walk. "Dean, God damn it! I'll double your pay. For God's sake, we're almost there. I can feel it." "I appreciate that, mister, but I have to go. Goodbye." Dean turns and begins to walk down the way they had come. "Hey, who is that?" "What the fuck are you talking about, Rich?" Creedmoor looks up at his friend, and a sudden look of terror fills his face when he looks over to where Richie is pointing. "Right there. Look, right there. There's 2 of them now." Creedmoor looks where Richie is pointing. Up ahead of the trail in the woods, a dark silhouette, motionless in between foliage about 30 yards away. His eyes dart around, looking for the second when he sees it. Closer than the other, another dark shape. "Yeah, I see it. I suppose they could be, natives?" "Oh, wait, another one. There." Creedmoor points to a third, again closer. The first one Richie pointed at very suddenly moves out of sight. Creedmoor turns around to call to Dean. Just then, he sees something sprinting out of the woods from his right. The young man hardly has time to move or react before feeling something pierce his skin. He feels it cut through his intestines, through his spine. He lets out an agonizing scream before feeling nothing again, going limp. June 17th, 1911, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. A tall man wearing a thick mustache and short black hair takes a long drag off his cigar. It's a cheap piece of tobacco, but he isn't picky, and he needs something to occupy his mind while he reads through a never-ending stack of paperwork. Signing a few lines, closing a few envelopes. Papers move from one side of the desk to another, into a drawer, into a cabinet, into another pile. He reaches for the next folder of documents, but pauses, his hand an inch from the top of the stack. A moment passes before he lets out a deep exhale and pushes his chair back, rising to stretch. Across his desk, the door to his office is open, as usual, but today it had a special allure. He decides that his paperwork can wait for a few more minutes, or a few more hours, and takes a walk into the mostly empty room. What had once been a newspaper publication called the Harrisburg Express was now home to an unusual federal commission that he helped run. The large open room had once been home to dozens of busy journalists and assistants and secretaries. Now it held only two others. In the corner of the office, an older woman with curly hair and her young assistant sat over a desk covered in newspapers and books and notes. "Anything interesting, Mrs. Riplinger?" he asks, enjoying the sun coming through the blinds along the far wall's windows.
"Afternoon, Marshal,"
she says, and points to one of the open newspapers.
"Found one about a fella in Arkansas who came up from a lake with the tooth of a dragon. Let's see here. Here's one where a young woman found her husband dead, but she claims it was a ghost that haunted the house. Ricardo and I here aren't so sure on that one."
Sitting next to Heidi, Ricardo continues reading his book as if the Marshal wasn't there. This was expected. The kid got into a trance when he was studying. That was part of the reason Heidi had advocated for him to come aboard.
"Thing is, the house was newly built. Ricardo and I couldn't find any record of burial grounds or battles or anything in the area. Probably not worth looking into. There was this one case of what looks like ritual sacrifice down in Macedonia, Mississippi. Big group last year. They found..."
The room erupts into a flurry of loud beeps from the back corner near the windows. Someone was sending them a telegraph. Looking down at the young man still turning pages, the Marshal speaks up. "Mr. Santos? Mr. Santos, you gonna get that?" says the Marshal. Ricardo looks up from his book with a look of confusion, which quickly switches to urgency. Yeah. He drops the book on his desk and runs across the office to the telegraph, throwing the earpiece on and grabbing a pencil. He begins writing. The Marshal shakes his head with a smile as he ashes his cigar in an already full ashtray. He looks over to Riplinger. "Have you heard anything from those two new guys? Maybe we could put them on that dragon tooth story, assuming we got nothing better. I don't suppose we have something around here to clean," he says with a chuckle. She looks up with a smirk and a raised eyebrow.
"I'm sure we have something better for them to spend their time on. They should be coming in around 10:30, so soon. If they actually read my letter, they're probably finishing up breakfast over at Coyote's right now."
The Marshal pulls a pocket watch from his jacket and clicks it open. The time is 9:42 a.m. He turns back to the telegraph just as Ricardo gets up, paper in hand. "Status, Mr. Santos?" Ricardo lets out a defeated sigh before saying, You know that journalist from Maine, Johnathan Creedmoor?" "Oh, shit. What now?" A few blocks from the office, a large sign displaying Coyote's Diner sits above a small establishment. It's a busy spot, mostly full of locals who know every waitress by name. except for 2 federal agents sitting across from one another in a booth. Special Agent Tate Clay, U.S. Marshal Birdie Johnson. Each have a plate of the Coyote's famous browns, and 2 assignment letters to the Commission of Preternatural and Metaphysical Phenomena. Okay, so you guys are in the diner having some of the Coyote's famous browns. You have your assignment letters.
So, Tate, is it, right?
Yeah, that's about right.
All right.
And you're, Hubert, eh?
Yeah, everybody calls me Birdie, though.
Birdie, all right.
Friends and foes alike, so feel free.
Very well. How'd you get on this duty, Birdie?
You know, that's a bit of a tale, but long story short, down in Texas, did a stint with the cavalry, ended that, became a ranger. You know, had a run at that for a while, and then decided that as large as the state of Texas is, there was stuff outside of its purview that I needed to take a peek at, so I went up and became a marshal. Yourself?
No, after a spurt sailing the oceans, I came to investigate some more things, and here I am.
All right, so you're the money guy.
You could say that.
And what branch are you from?
Secret Service.
Secret Service.
Secret Service, yes.
IRS, huh? Yeah, boys keeping an eye on all that money, right?
Well, I'm here, so I'm not really looking at it right now, but somebody is.
Fair enough, man. Well, you know, when it comes time to, reporting our expenses, good to know a guy who's familiar with a spreadsheet.
Yeah, I could probably help you out with that.
Yeah, I just might take you up on that.
Awesome. Well, if you do it wrong,
Yep, they'll get you.
I'll have to bring you in.
Yep.
Federal agent or not.
I'm not one to resist arrest, so you'll get me. I tell you what, man. I know that this place is famous for its browns, but I'm really digging this sausage.
A young woman comes up, a waitress.
Hi, how's everything going, guys?
Oh, splendid, ma'am.
Can I get you anything? Another coffee?
I'd definitely like another coffee, please.
All right, and for you?
Some more bacon? Crispy?
Crispy? Okay, yep, I'll put that on the bill.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, yep, be right back.
So, you heard of the CPMP before? Because I haven't.
As much as this letter says we're going to be looking into phenomena, that's still kind of a big word for me.
Well, I'm really glad that they sent it out there. Because there's more out there than the eye can typically see or the folks typically know.
Man, I'm glad somebody finally agrees with me.
Yep. Only a fool believes they know everything. The day you do that, it's the day you stop learning. Yeah, well, hell, you might as well hang it up at that point.
Excuse me, here's your coffee, and here's your bacon.
Thank you, ma'am.
You look up at the counter. There's a clock up above. It says 10 o'clock.
I don't know about you. I'm if you're on time, you're late kind of guy. Let's say we finish this up quick and hit the road.
Do you know where we're going?
Hey, we just got a couple blocks west of us. We got to head east.
I guess I'll follow you then.
Yep. I mean, eat your bacon. I'm gonna finish my coffee, but we should
Oh,
probably
I
get out
can
of here.
take this with if I have to.
Road bacon, huh?
Pats his front pocket.
Tate, I think you and I are gonna get on just fine.
I agree. You leaving anything behind coming here?
Oh,
Here, let me show you. And Tate pulls out his billfold. These are my 2 kids. This here's Bo. This here's Bo and Marshal.
Oh, you got some whelps, huh?
Yeah, just a few youngins about to turn teenager.
Oh, wow. Well, congrats.
Yeah, thank you. They're kind of my pride and joy.
Like it. What about the missus?
And he flips to the next picture. As well, the missus has been gone for a few years now.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah, life can throw you curveballs, that's for sure.
That's for sure. How about you? You got any pictures?
My family's been my work. No wife.
I don't know what you mean. I don't.
Well, no wife, no kids. I'm moving around a lot, and that's hard as a family man, so...
Not even a lover?
Nope, no lovers.
The broad he picked up at the saloon?
Well, I mean, it's all about pros and cons, right? Is it worth the squeeze? And a little bit of effort, a little bit of release, and then a whole lot of wondering. Let's just say I'm not the type to to go sowing seeds as I move around. I find that to be the act of a weak man. If you're going to do something like that, you stick around. And, well, it's not in my nature right now to stick around because there are greater questions that need answering.
I would love to say I understand, but I really don't. All's the more for you.
Give it time. Give it time. So where you from?
Originally,
Yeah.
Georgia.
Georgia, huh?
Yeah, I spent a few years there. Yourself?
Texas. Born and raised. Spent the majority of my younger life there.
How old are you?
I'll be 37.
Oh,
Yourself, you look, you don't look...
How's everything, still doing good, guys?
Yeah, I think we're just about to clear up here.
Okay, want me to bring you the check?
Yeah, just, tell you what, Birdie's gonna pull a quarter out of his wallet. Here you go. Keep the change.
Her eyes get wide. You look back at the clock, and it is approaching 10:30. It's about 10:15, and you remember the assignment letter, which is right in front of you, says that it's about 2 blocks away. You've got enough time to pay up and get there a little early if you're looking to.
Yeah, Tate, it's time to get a move on.
I'll follow you.
Perfect. Birdie's gonna roll a cigarette real quick.
Oh, you're a rolly guy.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Nice. Tate pulls a pack of Lucky Strikes out of his breast pocket of his cotton button-down shirt that has a pack of matches sitting inside. Also pulls up and puffs on a smoke.
All right, no time like the present.
So you guys get up, walk out the front door, and you get to the address listed on your assignment letter. It's a modest 2-story building covered in windows. The front door is guarded by a keystone, carved into the head of a stag. The door is unlocked. You open it, walk inside, and it's a mostly empty entryway, except for a few tall plants sitting near a table and some uncomfortable-looking chairs. On the right is a door flanked by 2 tall windows. You can see what looks like heavy equipment through them. To the left is a door labeled storage and a staircase along the wall leading up to the second floor. And the second floor is like open. There's like a railing up there that kind of goes around, and then, there's a staircase up there. Upstairs, you can hear talking when suddenly the storage door opens and an older woman with curly hair and a pale complexion looks up at you with wide eyes.
Oh, thank God. You must be Clay and Johnson. I'm Heidi Ripplinger. Nice to meet you.
She reaches out a hand to shake yours.
Ma'am?
Heidi, my pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine.
She says with a smile that quickly leaves.
I hate to be so to the point, but we actually need you two on something right away. Here, follow me. I'll introduce you to some of the other folks.
She gestures for the 2 agents to follow her as she turns and walks up the stairs. You walk up them and you see a room filled with a few dozen desks. Most of them look to be empty. The back and front walls are lined with windows. The left side of the room has 3 doors, one of which is open and looks to be an office. The right side is lined with bookshelves stocked with a variety of different texts. The shelves are labeled and organized by state and year. On the ends of the bookshelves are a few pieces of art. One depicts an angel flying from a great light, sword in hand. Another shows 2 men gazing into a great light surrounded by circles of beings. For those at home, those are The Last Judgment and The Empyrean by Gustave Doré, if you actually want to look up and see what those are real pieces of art. Toward the back of the room, sitting on a desk and smoking a cigar, a tall man with a mustache places a finger on a map, while a younger man in a brown shirt follows and nods, oblivious to the 2 new agents being led by Mrs. Ripplinger. If they start here, they can probably get to him pretty quick. I'd assume Creedmoor would have started here himself. The man with the cigar looks up as the new agents approach. He gets up from the desk and reaches a hand to him. Good morning. Marshal Johnson and Agent Clay, I presume?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's me.
Frank Zwarson, U.S. Marshal. I'm the Assistant Commissioner here. Miss Ripplinger, how is Ajaya coming with those packs?
She's wrapping up now. Should be ready in 10 minutes, give or take.
She says, walking over to the young man at the desk as he flips through a book, running his fingers along the lines of text.
Ahem.
Heidi clears her throat to get the young man's attention. He looks up at Clay and Johnson. Oh, sorry. My name's Ricardo. Nice to meet you. He reaches out a hand.
Nice to meet you.
Ricardo here is one of our overpaid bookworms we call a researcher,
says Heidi with an air of playful sarcasm.
Have you found anything good, Ricky?
Only a little. Nothing really solid. Speculation about train lights, but I checked and there doesn't seem to be any trains near there. At least not near enough to cause these sightings, but maybe gas igniting from the ground, but I don't think that's likely either. Marshal Zworson looks over at Clay and Johnson, grabbing his cigar from his mouth. Here, follow me for a second, you two. Let's have a chat in my office, he says, walking toward the office with the open door. You two walk in, seeing a large desk covered in stacks of paper and folders, with an ashtray holding a few old cigars. The window behind the desk has its blinds half closed, leaving lines of light in the smoke. Zworson sits in the leather chair opposite you, smoke trailing from his cigar. Close the door for a second. Have a seat, he says, as he opens a drawer in his desk. He pulls out 3 glasses and sets them down, then pulls a bottle of what looks like expensive whiskey. He pours 3 drinks and returns the bottle to its home. I have a few traditions I have to get out of the way. For starters, he takes a sip from his glass. I want to welcome you to our assignment. I know Miss Ripplinger sent you 2 assignment letters already, so I'll make this brief. We're looking into some rather unusual things here. Sometimes it's mundane, sometimes it isn't. You'll need to have an open mind and a healthy dose of skepticism. I want a clear line of communication and extra due diligence on your part. Now, I've read through your records. I expect your best and better. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Works for me.
He looks the 2 agents over, coldly observing their responses. All right, good. His demeanor lightens drastically. Listen, we have an urgent situation. One of our leads, we'll call him an informant of sorts. He's gone missing. I contacted some folks at the Forest Service. Took a long time to get anybody worth talking to. They won't have people searching the area for at least a week, and we cannot afford to lose this informant, especially on account of the Forest Service being slow. Fella's name is Johnathan Creedmoor. He's one of the journalists for the Northern Press up in Maine. The majority of his reporting is into the same kind of stuff we're looking for. He has some good leads, but every so often we won't hear from him until he's got a good story to tell. Usually by then it's too late. Either way, he was looking into something in the mountains, not terribly far from here. Read this. Zworson pulls a folded piece of paper from his pocket, unfolds it, and slides it across the table.
All right, yeah, I'll read this real quick here. Let's see here. Okay, good morning or good afternoon. I hope this correspondence finds you well. This is Johnathan Creedmoor of the Northern Journal. If you are receiving this, then I have not reported back to the post office located in Harriet's Paunch, Pennsylvania. I have asked them to send this in the event I have not returned 5 days from now. I am investigating the reports of strange lights which are said to wander around the area. Oh, I'm sorry, I messed that up. Which are said to wander the area around the Apollo's crater area. I am accompanied by my colleague Richard Sweetwell and a local named Dean Wood. Maybe Deanne, I don't know, he spelled it weird. Given that some reports indicate potential for nefarious activity in the area, should I not return, please send help immediately. Well, that's a bit ominous. Well, actually good thinking on this Creedmoor, fellas.
Zworson looks at his cigar. It's down to its last few minutes of life. Then he looks up and says, We received that telegraph, not terribly long ago, this morning, matter of fact. It is my opinion that Creedmoor is not the survival in the type woods. I also believe that he's been too valuable to let die from natural causes, if you catch my meaning. Not to mention, there is a non-zero chance whatever he's been looking into could be, something. Ajaya down in the basement is preparing you two supplies for the search. I'd send more people with you if I could, but we're short of a search party. You know what I'm saying? And from what I've read, you two can handle this.
We're going to be mounted?
Unfortunately not.
All right, that'll slow us down a bit.
That will, but that's what we got.
You said you're the assistant commissioner?
That's correct.
Why isn't Commissioner Elborn around?
Well, he's out.
Huh. Okay. And pardon me for asking, the letter wasn't quite clear. What really are we looking into? This guy's tax records?
No. Creedmoor was looking into some kind of, all we know is based on what he sent us this morning. Some kind of lights in the region. Now, Ricardo and Heidi did a little bit of research, as much as we could in the time that we've had. There's been reports of lights in the region, floating lights. There was an official investigation back in 1908 into it, and what they came back with was that it was train lights reflecting off this, that, and the other, but according to Ricardo, it doesn't sound like that is very likely.
There's a lot of coal out there. You know, you get yourself a natural gas flume, hits a spark of some kind, who knows what. I mean,
yeah.
Not too likely, but
no,
possible.
It's not. Well, go ahead.
And sorry, Birdie.
Yep.
But you're having us look into actual what people are believing's phenomena.
Well,
I'm just looking for a confirmation. I still don't quite know what I'm doing here.
Let me put it like this. The Marshal Service and the federal investigatory bodies tend to get a lot of reports of very odd things going on. We also see it in the newspaper. We see it in journals. We see it in writings. We see it here, there. You hear it walking down the street that, Banshee did and killed somebody. Oh, there's a witch cult in the woods. Oh, there's a Wendigo out there slaughtering folk. There's a chupacabra. There's, a native burial ground is making people go wild. Some man says he has $100 because he rubbed a genie's lamp. Our goal is to figure out whether or not that's actually happening. Does that make sense?
Probably the most explanation I've gotten, so thank you, Mr. Zorson.
That sounds like a fact-finding mission all the time, right? Get to the bottom of it. If it's on the up and up, move on. If it's not, dig deeper.
That's correct. And as I said earlier, plenty of stuff we look into is mundane, but that doesn't necessarily mean it always is. I want to be very clear. If you come back to this commission saying that some folks are dead and the responsibility is on fucking Dracula, God damn it, you need to bring him back in shackles. You understand?
I think I know what you're saying.
And if that son of a bitch doesn't have pointy teeth, don't bother bringing him. Understand?
Yeah. It's not for us to learn, it's for us to prove, I think is what you're getting at.
It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. That's exactly right.
All right, so without evidence, it's just file a report and move on.
So to speak. Now, for this assignment, find Creedmoor and his party. If you find any evidence of something unnatural going on with these lights, whatever it might be, bring that along too. Understood? We have a train set for Harriet's Paunch at 12 p.m. Find Creedmoor, find his party. If you find any evidence of something unnatural going on with these floating lights, bring that along too. Understood?
Yes, sir.
All right. There's a train to Harriet's Paunch at 12. From there, you should be able to get a ride over to Ranger Station 13 and make your way toward Apollo's Cradle. We've got a general map of the area, nothing too fancy. Looks to be a day's ride from town to the ranger station. He pulls a pocket watch out and checks the time. You better get down to Ajaya. She's in the basement. Through the door at the bottom of the stairs, says storage.
Yep, we passed it on the way in. So, just so we're all crystal clear here, our primary objective is to get Creedmoor back home safe and sound, because he's a valuable source.
Correct.
All right. Secondary mission is if we can find out anything about these lights, figure it out, bring back proof.
Correct.
Or, heck, bring back one of them lights if they're literally floating around.
You put one of them sons of bitches in a jar, you go ahead.
All right. Hey, as long as it ain't got wings, right?
That's right.
All right. Well, that's about as straightforward as you can put it.
Agent Clay?
Let's go get her shit.
I think I need to pack a few things.
I think that's what our new friend Jay is doing for us right now,
Yep.
right?
Oh, more than just what she's got.
He raises his glass up to you two. Good luck.
And Tate just chugs it.
I think you're supposed to follow that with "Don't get captured."
So Zwarson gives you guys your assignment. He explains everything. Seems like you guys get what's going on. You guys get up to go down to the basement to get your gear. Hey, go ahead and leave that door open, he says as you guys walk out.
Will do.
You guys go out into the main office. Heidi is reading a book over Ricardo's shoulder. She sees you two walk out, grabs a map from the desk, brings it over to you.
I'm assuming Marshal Zwarson went over the assignment with you two already?
That's correct.
Okay. Here's the best map we have. The area is pretty remote, so there's not a lot. There's a train taking you guys to the closest town, Harriet's Paunch. It's about a 2.5-hour train ride, then another hour to get to the ranger station. Here's the map. She unfolds it and lays it out on an empty desk. You got the little town. There's a train track to it. And then it's just a lot of forest in the mountain.
That looks good.
Looks easy enough to follow. I'll take that. And Tate will grab a map.
Ajaya should be ready for you downstairs. Ricardo and I are seeing if we can find anything useful on these lights. I'll meet you by the front door if we find anything, okay?
Sounds good.
So you guys walk, fold up the map, stuff it in a breast pocket, I'm assuming.
He stuffs the map inside his blazer vest pocket.
Okay. So you guys walk downstairs. You open the door that says storage. You walk in, go down a couple stairs, and you see a large room with rows and rows of shelves. You guys walk into this room, and there's bars with a counter. It's kind of like an armory. It appears that the bars are new. This was a recent addition to kind of secure this room. And there is a locked door that you could open to get into it. On the other side of the counter, you see a large mug with a little tea bag and steam rising from it. Toward the back of the shelves in the left corner of the room is another door. This one is made of metal with a large latch and an unsecured lock dangling from it. The door swings open as a short woman with dark hair and tan skin kicks it from inside. There's 2 large packs slung from her shoulders.
Oi, good morning,
she says when she sees the 2 agents. She's dragging kind of the bags up to you. These things probably weigh half of what she weighs a piece. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Heidi didn't say what kind of munitions the two of you was looking to carry, so I figured I'd wait and ask. Got a pretty wide array of arms behind here.
She gets to the counter, plops one bag up there, then plops the other, slides them over to the 2 agents.
Got 2 small tents, 2 sheepskin sleeping bags, a week and a half of rations, a few fire starters, a few knives, a couple pairs of spare clothes and canteens.
She grabs a large clipboard from behind the counter.
What else? Compasses. You already got the map from Heidi, right?
Yep, I got that.
Okay, good. If you need boots, you'll have to grab some from the Cordwainer on 45th and Nelson. Fella's name is Chester. He's nice. Tell him I sent you. He'll know where to bring the bill. Anything else? Weapons? You guys good?
Seeing as how we're going to be trekking through the woods, take a pump-action shotgun.
Let me see what I got. What about you? You good?
You know what, Jaya? I could probably use some 4440 and a little bit of 30 cal if you got it.
Yeah, give me 5 or 10. Be right back.
You're the best.
She goes to walk away and then turns around real quick and grabs her mug and then walks back. 10 or 15 minutes later, she comes back out. You see a double-barrel shotgun strapped onto the side of her shoulder, and then she has a small wicker basket that she's holding with both hands. She plops the wicker basket onto the counter. Well, I'm sorry. Which one of you was which?
Oh, I'm a U.S. Marshal, Birdie Johnson.
Birdie, Jaya Vama. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Here's, I got a box 38 special. Here's a 12 gauge. Here's a box of 10 buckshot, 12 rounds of the special.
That should be plenty.
So you have, and mark this down, how much 38 special do you think he carries on himself? 12 rounds anyway?
12, yeah, two reloads.
Okay, so 6 in the gun and 2 reloads, so
Correct.
18.
Yep.
So go ahead and add 12.
Oh, so 30?
Yeah, so you have 30 rounds, and then you have your 12 gauge double barrel. You have 10 rounds. And what was your name?
Oh, it's Tate.
Tate?
Tate Clay.
Nice to meet
Secret
you.
Service.
Here's, couldn't find a lot of the 44. Here's 6 rounds, is what I got. And then here is 10 rounds of the 30. Should be good?
Works.
All right.
I got a few with me, so we'll be good.
Go ahead and sign this for me, both of you. She slides a clipboard with some paperwork on it. You guys both sign it. It's just stating that you guys are taking what you're taking and how much of, what it is. All right. Should be good. Good luck.
Thanks.
She takes a big, long sip out of her tea. Pulling out your watch, it is getting close. You guys will have to kind of boogie down to the train station. You guys grab your bags, walk out. Heidi is sitting in one of those uncomfortable-looking chairs. She gets up, holds the door open for you guys. You both got your packs and your shotgun. You don't carry your 30 cal with you, right?
No, Tate's planning to go and grab it.
Okay, but you guys are kind of short on time. Where does Tate live? I'd say if you are not 10 minutes away, then
He
wouldn't
would
have
live
time.
close to the train station. He's got kids. He goes places, or he goes to see his kids regularly. I would say he's relatively close to the train station.
Roll a luck check.
I can't.
You can. You must.
Indeed, you must.
I'm really excited to smoke that Revenant later. What'd you roll? A 3?
A 4.
You fucker. Okay. Remember that? We'll come back to it. She holds the front door open for you guys as you walk out. She follows you to the sidewalk.
We didn't find much. There's a couple of references to strange lights in the woods around that area. There's been some folks who have gone missing. Also, in the past year, I don't know, some enterprising writers thought maybe there would be a connection. But honestly, this whole thing could be a load of nothing. But keep an eye out, all right? We've gotten in trouble thinking that before.
Yeah, we'll keep our heads on swivels.
All right. Well, safe travels.
Thanks. Well,
We'll be seeing you.
I hope so.
all right, Tate. Think it's time.
Let's get a move on, Birdie.
You pull out your pocket watch. You have 25 minutes before your train. Fortunately, luckily for you, you got a little extra time. So go ahead and go home real quick.
I'll meet you at the station.
Birdie, I'll meet you there. Yep.
Perfect.
Tate's going to take off at a pretty quick walk back to his place. And he gets there, and it's a modest apartment above a store. So he's got to unlock the door, go upstairs, unlock another door that's got like 3 different locks on it. Goes inside, and it's standard wood floors. There's nothing really special about it. Probably a 2-bedroom. He's got a iron flat safe that he has to push his bed over to get to the safe, and puts in his combo. Tate pulls a Craig Jorgensen 30 cal bolt action rifle out of the safe. He slides a sleeve over it and fashions it to the pack that he's wearing, so you can't really see what it is. It is, I would say, fully loaded along with his revolver. He pulls a Colt 1987P 6-shooter revolver, throws on a holster and holsters it, kind of throws his coat tail up and over the holster, goes into the kitchen area, grabs a very pristine and well taken care of Bowie knife off the counter and straps that to his hip as well before he rushes out and heads back to the train station.
You said a Colt 1987?
P.
So you make your way back to the train station. Birdie, you're waiting there. The station is pretty busy. There's folks getting on trains, getting off, boarding, exiting. You see people traveling light, folks carrying profuse amounts of crap with them, families, folks by themselves. You look up at the clock. It says 11:59. Just then, your new partner shows up.
Yeah, cutting it close, though.
I appreciate you waiting for me.
Well, it's a duo mission. I'd rather not miss the train.
Well, I'm glad I'm here for it.
Absolutely. Well, no time like the present. Let's get a move on.
Right behind you.
All right, we're gonna board the train.
So you two sit there for about another 5 minutes. Train's a little late. The decelerating tempo of the engine approaches. You guys have your tickets at the ready, which you were given by Heidi on the sidewalk. You get on the train, get into a decently comfortable spot. Man comes up, checks your tickets, and you guys depart. You're on the train for another 2.5 hours. What do you guys do? Do you have a conversation? Catch up?
It's a pretty comfortable ride in here.
Yeah, I've had worse.
Glad I made it here, but it seems I had a few minutes to spare with the train being late and all.
You know the old saying, right? If you're early, you're on time.
I don't think I've heard that one.
Oh, well,
Now I know.
words to live by. I figured once we get out there, away from civilization, and we're going through the brush, up in that timber, we'll take things slow. It's a common thing for folks not used to the elements, if you will, to feel the need to rush through. And that's a good way to get noticed by everything out there.
You got much experience with these elements, Birdie?
I mean, I spent a bit of time outdoors, if you will.
I don't think we'll have much of a problem then.
Yeah, that'd be a lot better if we had horses.
You know, I can't say I've ever ridden a horse.
That sure beats walking.
Depends who you ask.
A woman pushing a cart down the train, down the cart.
Oh, can I offer you some coffee? Can I
She gets to you guys.
can I get anything for you guys? Coffee,
Yeah, I'd take a cup of coffee, please.
a cup of coffee. Okay.
Got any whiskey?
Whiskey? No, we don't. It's a dry cart. Sorry.
I'll be good then. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. Here's your coffee, sir.
Thank you. Birdie's gonna roll a cigarette and enjoy a cup of coffee.
The train ride goes by quickly between the rhythm of the engine, the coffee, the conversation, and the evolving scene from the window. The city turns into vast farmland, into vast forests surrounding mountains. You feel the speed decrease after a while, and the tempo of the engine slow as you approach a small town on a hill called Harriet's Paunch. It looks like the town only has a few hundred people living in it, not including the farmers and their families in the wider area, who, you would know, congregate here to deliver their harvests. Just outside the train station, you see a few dozen people working in the sun. They're unloading bushels of wheat, then loading and operating a large black steam-powered threshing machine, which is filling bags, and a group of people is stacking those near the train station. When the train stops, you are the only two who stand up to get off.
Popular stop.
You leave the train station and walk into Harriet's Paunch. It smells like freshly kicked dirt and horses. The men operating the threshing machine shout at one another as they labor. Most of them are covered in sweat. A majority of the town appears to be on one street, with a few short alleys. You can see an inn, a cobbler, a general store, a pharmacy, and a bank, along with a handful of other buildings and homes. The town is surrounded by trees and backdropped by a blue sky and the mountain range in the distance. What do you guys do?
Suppose we should stop somewhere and maybe check this map a little?
I figure we can find a ride out to Ranger Station 13. Or, barring that, maybe get ourselves a couple of horses. I can smell them.
Seeing that we're at this train station, we can probably find a ride around here. I'll go ask. Do I see anybody operating a vehicle, carriage, kind of sitting around?
There is a one-horse cart, which is currently being unloaded of hay right now by the big threshing machine. That's it. That's all that you see from where you're standing.
Tate will go up there. Excuse me, gentlemen.
All the guys working stop to look at you.
Yeah.
One of you fine gentlemen, when you're done here, mind giving my friend and me just a quick ride down to the ranger station 13?
One of the guys, he's a real older looking fella, comes up to you. He kind of waves at all the other guys, and they get back to working. This guy's old. He's like balding on the top of his head, but he's got like real long hair that's just kind of like all over the place.
Hey, yeah, I can take you up there. I'm going that direction later today once they're done unloading. But,
That's fantastic.
it'll cost you.
What are we talking here?
Oh, how's 20?
Then I'm going to check the map quick. Is the ranger station on there?
Yes, it is on there.
Roughly how far?
So if you're getting a ride, it would be half a day. If you're walking, it's going to be longer, obviously, like a full day of walking there. You can see some farms kind of interspersed here and there. There is like a main road that goes east a ways, and then there's the ranger station is like up from that road, like at the very end of it.
You know, that sounds mighty fine.
And it's gonna be a little while before I leave.
You're just waiting for them to unload, right?
Oh, yeah.
We could probably help. Birdie! Hey, Birdie!
Yep.
I got us a ride.
Well,
All we gotta do is help these gentlemen get the hay off the cart.
Well, and 20.
unload the hay? Well, why not? Day.
Good day. Yeah, go ahead. Just put it over there.
Birdie's gonna look at Tate like, man,
Tate's gonna
this
be
might
like,
not have been the only ride option, man. Now we're up here laboring. All right, well, whatever. Birdie's gonna drop his bag and rest his shotgun on it. Take his coat off and lay it over the shotgun. Roll his sleeves up. Well, I ain't doing this by myself, Tate.
I'm getting on it. Tate will set his stuff down next to Birdie's. Always keeping a watchful eye on it, mind you.
Okay.
Noticeably. And hop up on the cart and start throwing hay off.
Go ahead and roll a strength. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so you
3.
guys, you guys hop on it, help the guys out, unload hay, pass it over to this guy. You do that for about an hour. The fellow with the bald head with long hair comes up to you.
All right. Well, it looks like it's empty. Go ahead and hop in the back, and there's going to be another couple.
He looks over and he waves at a couple other guys who hop on with you.
We grab our gear.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. And he hops on, starts away.
Didn't think I was going to work up a sweat prior to this trip, but what can you do?
Well, Birdie, a little bit of hard work is really good for you.
Is that so?
That's what I believe.
Yeah,
More hands make less work, too.
You know, my father told me the same thing.
Who are you?
Oh, my name's Jimothy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Jimothy. Tate Clay.
Oh, and what's your name?
You can call me Birdie, son.
So you guys hopped into the back with a couple other people hopped in with you.
Where are you guys coming from?
Yeah, we're coming out of Harrisburg.
Oh, wow, the big city.
Yeah, where are you going to?
Oh, we're just going to help some of the other farmers get their stuff. We all kind of help each other out here.
That's what I like to hear.
Yep. That's my old man up there.
Driving the cart?
Yeah, driving the cart. Yep.
Hell of a skill to have.
Yeah.
Let's hope this job stays around for a while, right?
Birdie's gonna roll another cigarette and take a little nip out of his out of his flask. God damn it.
Birdie, hey, you know they're much better like this. And he pulls out his pack of Lucky Strikes.
You just do what you feel like doing. I'm going to stick to my ways.
So the cart ride takes a while. Like he said, half a day. And it is just open farmland for a lot of it. Rows and rows of wheat. You see the occasional little group of cows and shit like that. About 8 hours go past. The fella in the cart with you makes occasional conversation, asking about the big city, and he seems really excited.
Tate chats with him openly.
What are you guys doing in the area?
We're looking for some business ventures to get into, and, well, this would be a great spot to start one.
Oh, business?
Yeah, we're looking for, working on some imports.
Imports? What are you importing?
Just getting some more food and goods and such into the city,
Oh, into the city.
Oh, yeah.
Birdie's just going to look at Tate with now you're lying to the locals.
That's our biggest thing around here is, we get a lot of food out to folks. That's what we all invested in that big steam machine. About a couple years ago, we all together.
It was communal.
Oh yeah. Well,
I love to hear it.
oh well, none of us can afford something like that all by ourselves, and it helps everybody out. It saves us a lot of man hours, So anyway, yeah, that's really cool. Glad to hear it.
So he kind of continues asking you questions and chatting and asking your opinion on this, that, and the other. Eventually, you guys get to the end of the road, and there's like a T shape at the very end of the road. To your left is thick, dense forest with what looks like a thin trail. To the right is another road and more farmland. The guy driving the cart turns around, looks at you guys. Go ahead and walk down there another while. You'll see it. It's at the end.
You guys been to the station before?
Can't say we have.
Neither have I. But I've been told it's just at the.
It's just at the end of the trail. Go ahead, we have things to do.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, much
I think we'll
obliged.
be on our way then.
That'll be 20.
Ah, yes, here. He hands him a quarter.
Thank you. Away.
He goes down.
A dime says just down the road, at least 3 hours. I feel it in my bones.
And if I was a betting man, I think I'd take you up on that. Let's
But
put a
you're not.
dime on it.
Oh, all right. You are a betting man. All right, dime. 2 hours or more.
Did you just say 3?
At least 2 hours.
I'll give you that.
All right. Let's see. Birdie's going to pull out his pocket watch. What time of day is it?
Okay, so it was 2.5 hours to get to town, starting at 12. So 2:30. Then it was half a day to get there. So it would be, we'll say, 7:30.
In the evening?
Yeah,
And it's the month of...
July, right?
Okay.
Or June. Let me double check. I think it's June.
June.
Yep, June.
So if we're lucky, we'll get there before sundown.
Works for me.
Yeah, all
Are you
right.
afraid of the dark, mister?
Not in the slightest. Let's move.
You guys make your way into the forest. It's pretty thick, and it gets thicker as you continue. Trees, brush, squirrels running around, chirping at one another. You hear an owl. And you guys keep walking. An hour goes by. You guys keep walking. Another hour goes by. The sky starts to turn a little bit pink through the leaves. And another hour goes by. You're still not there yet.
All right. Well, clearly I won the bet. And it's getting dark here mighty quick. And the way I see it, we got two options. We can push on ahead, hope we run into it soon, or we can just admit that we don't know how long it is and make camp right here on the road.
Roll a spot hidden for me, both of you. And you use different dice.
Switching up. Yes.
98.
Ooh, critical fail. You are blind.
98.
Oh, okay. Dang, you're too smart.
The
I was going to gaslight you. That's what the kids call it.
kids call a lot of things.
Yeah, they do. What'd you get? Let me guess. 7.
9 under 60.
Tate, looking up toward the direction of the trail, just barely through the leaves and the trees and the branches, you see what you are pretty confident might be a tower, like a ranger tower. Looks like you're maybe another hour and a half away from it, if you had to guess.
Birdie, you want to make another bet?
You mean, do I want to put more money in my pocket?
I'd say no more than 2 hours and we're there.
Oh, no more than 2 hours from here?
Yep.
Well, I'm not taking that bet.
So let's keep moving then. If you think we're
That was one of the
close.
2 options. All right, let's keep it on moving.
Okay, so you guys are in the woods, walking down this trail, and the trail's it's rough. Maybe a couple of horses could, make their way through it. Certainly not a carriage like what you were just on. Maybe it could, but that would be difficult. You know what I'm saying? Probably more difficult than an old man who's hauling hay around would be willing to do. You guys have been walking for 3 hours now, and you've chosen to continue walking?
Yes. Tate will chop down a little branch to use as a walking stick, too.
So you grab your Bowie knife out and hack one off?
Yep.
Okay. So you guys keep walking. After about 45 more minutes or so, Birdie, you can start to see what you presume is the ranger tower through the trees and leaves. It's starting to get a little bit dark now. There's a really bright pink in the distance, in the direction you guys are walking. And you can see what looks like lights up in this tower. You guys make your way down the long dirt path. The trees around you do a good job providing shade from the sun. Every so often, you'll hear the buzz of insects around your ears or the tingle of a mosquito bite on your neck or arm or back. The bushes and brush rustles with the hustle and bustle of small rodents. At least you assume as much. After you guys have been traveling for, what has it been now, 4.5 hours, 3 plus 45 plus another 30, you make your way into a clearing, a large circular clearing with a tall tower sitting just above the tree line in the middle of this opening. Nearby the tower is a larger-ish building with a chimney and a few windows that sits next to a small shed. Off to the right, kind of by itself, is a what looks like a stable. Birdie, having worked with horses quite a bit in the past, you would think that this could accommodate 2 horses. There appears to be lights up in the top of the tower. What do you do?
I knew we should have grabbed horses.
I'm more wondering what those lights are about. Maybe that's the lights they were talking about.
I'm pretty certain that's just the ranger up in his tower keeping an eye on the woods, but...
That's what I'm saying, but, the people could just be seeing that and thinking it's something.
It's not outside the realm of possibility, that's for sure.
Maybe they put up new stations that nobody knows about yet.
That would be a little harder to explain. I mean, well, hell, you just go ask the ranger if there are any more towers in the area.
That's a fantastic idea.
Well, I'm just gonna go set my gear down by this building here, and let's go walk on up and say hi.
Works for me. I'm going to take mine with me, though.
Fair enough. Birdie's gonna shrug off the pack, leave the shotgun on it.
Okay, and you're leaving that at the base of the tower?
Yeah.
And Tate is not.
Correct.
Special Agent Clay is taking his pack with him. Okay.
Correct.
Birdie's gonna lead the way up.
Climbing up the stairs, you travel up the same path that the trees grow around you. The sun is setting off in the distance, and it's, just a beautiful pink and blue, and the stars are starting to be visible. There's this color gradient And you begin to see the mountains over the top of the tree more clearly. You can see just a little bit, 2 peaks rise, making a V shape, with the rest all kind of looking like teeth. The trees sway and dance with the wind, their leaves letting out applause all around you. And when you get to the top of the tower, you can hear some movement from inside. You see a shadow move around, but you can't see inside from where you are.
Hello? Hello? Ranger in the tower?
Who goes there?
My name is Marshal Hubert Birdie Johnson. And my partner here, Special Agent Tate Clay. We're here on official business, and we'd like to come on up and say hi.
You guys hear some creaking of the floor.
All right. Good. Open the door slowly. I want to see hands.
Yeah, no problem at all. We are armed, but they're in their holsters. We ain't here to cause you problems. Okay, I'm opening the door nice and slow. Okay, here are my hands.
You got your badge?
Here, I'm going to take my left hand back and grab my badge.
Hold on now. How many?
There's 2 of us.
Both of you, come on in. Hands out. Come on in.
No problem at all. Nice and easy. Birdie's going to pull his badge out and lead in. Oh,
okay. Before you open the door?
correct.
Okay.
Tate follows Birdie's lead.
Open the door. All right, now this is my badge here, U.S. Marshal Hubert Johnson. Okay, nice and slowly opening. Heck of a walk down that trail, man. I knew we should have grabbed some horses.
Opening the door, you look in to see a cot tucked up against the corner. A small end table near it holds a lit candle, and an open book sits next to the candle. Opening the door a little bit more, you see 2 chairs around a small table. Another lit candle sits in the middle of it, with playing cards strewn about, and a man behind the cards, opposite you. His hands are under the table.
All right. Keep coming. Keep coming. Slow.
Yep.
Entering the room more, you can see another cot and end table, kind of mirroring the other one, as well as a large map on the right side wall above a desk with a small row of books. Standing in front of the desk is another man holding a rifle pointed at the agents.
Now, wait right there. Any more of you?
No,
It's
sir.
just us.
Just us 2.
The man behind the table stands up, revealing a revolver in his hand. He approaches you and takes a look at your badges. Inspecting them carefully, like he walks up and grabs Birdie's from his hand, and then he looks over at the other ranger who has his rifle trained on the both of you. He nods at him. The other one nods back at him. He holsters his revolver and grabs Clay's badge, and he paces around for a little bit looking at him, really making sure.
All right. Sorry about that.
Strangers in the night coming
It's all
knocking.
good.
He hands the badges back to you.
Gentlemen, you wouldn't happen to have your badges on you, would you?
Oh, yeah, I got mine. Here. Go ahead and grab yours.
Tate will grab them and inspect them quick. They look legit.
Go ahead and roll law.
That is a 44 over 35. I got no fucking clue.
You look them over. They look fine. You have no reason to think that they're fake.
Gentlemen, these look fine to me.
Yeah, I would hope so.
The name's Special Agent Tate Clay, and he holds his hand out to shake it.
Nice to meet you. I'm Ranger Leonard. This is my partner, Ranger Conrad. What can I do for you?
What was the name of the journalist that we were pursuing?
Creedmoor.
We're out here actually looking for a fella you might have seen come through maybe 5-7 days ago, name of Creedmoor.
Ranger Conrad is the one with the rifle. He lowers his. He goes and sits down on his cot and kind of holds the rifle like butt on the ground, but he holds it up. Leonard is now talking to you. No, we never saw anyone named Creedmoor. This place has been quiet for about a year now. We meet Abraham once a month at the crossroads for supplies, but that's about it. Can I ask both of you to roll secretly for me real quick? So like in the box, I'll have you do it, and then I'm going to write down what it is real quick. Yeah, go ahead.
That's fine. We're under the impression that they came through this way. Maybe they skipped the station for some odd reason. But that's what we're out here doing.
Well, I mean, we go ahead and we send out patrols every so often. Folks ain't allowed in down there that direction. There's so it's unlikely. I'll say that much. We patrol up and down the wire down there.
Well, you said that folks aren't allowed down there?
Nope. It's strict orders. Nobody's allowed to venture on past that wire.
Why not?
Well, it's not for me to know.
Huh.
These orders came from who?
The Forest Service.
Ah.
Who is our employer.
You don't say.
Ain't that right, Conrad?
Conrad nods his head.
Short
little fella.
Well, that's a little odd. Well, whatever, man. If your bosses tell you something is, then I guess it is, right?
That's right. I don't question. I just do.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, tell you what. It's getting late here. I don't know, man. That must have taken us the better part of 4 hours to walk down that trail. That building I saw downstairs. Got some more cots in it?
Yep. It's got enough to accommodate about 6 folk. We got 3. So, should have 2 for you guys. Go on ahead. Here, I'll walk down with you. I'll get you set up. Conrad, you want to go ahead and just keep it together up here?
Conrad nods.
You said there's 3 of you here?
Yeah, that's right.
Where's the third?
Out on patrol. Should be coming back in a minute now.
All right.
Well, we got a horse. We used to have 2 horses. We got 1 right now. But he's just out. And anyway, we'll take you on down.
So he takes you down the stairs. Your pack is still sitting there. It has not been stolen with the shotgun. Ranger Leonard leads you to the larger building, opens the door. Inside, you see 6 beds, 3 and 3 on either wall. There's a furnace at the very end with a chimney that also has like a cooktop there.
Stove.
A stove, thank you. There's a bench with knives and saws and stuff like that. You see cups and plates and cast iron pans hanging from the wall. There's chests. It looks like 3 of the beds get used once in a while, and the other 3 are collecting dust.
Well, this will do just fine.
All right, well, go ahead and use these ones over here.
He points to the right side.
This is Leonard, right?
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Leonard. I shall remember your generosity. I'll be down here playing with some cards later if you get bored up there.
All right, well, that's fine then.
Is there any light in here, or do we have to... Birdie's going to kind of strike a match, and can we still see, like, there's enough light?
Yeah, there's a little bit of light right now, enough to, make your way in and get a lantern burning.
But Birdie's going to go light a lantern.
Okay.
Tate will go and claim one of the cleaner of the cots.
Anything else that you guys want to do? It's about, what time would it be? About 9 o'clock now?
All right, so Leonard's back upstairs?
Yep. Leonard walks out, leaves you guys.
Birdie.
Yep.
I don't know about these guys.
I agree. Something's a little off here.
Go ahead and roll a secret listen check for me. Tate, Clay, as you guys are sitting there kind of saying, these guys seem a little odd, you listen and you realize you You haven't heard anybody go up those stairs.
Hand on the pistol.
We said that quietly. All right. Well, tell you what, Tate. See, I'm going to grab that bunk right there. Figure we get us a good night's sleep, and then tomorrow we can assess and see what we got to do.
Tate's gonna look over at you quick and give kind of the universal, like, watch me symbol. Yeah, Birdie, I think I gotta go use the bathroom quick before I go to bed, so I'll be right back.
All right.
And Tate's gonna get up. He's gonna be ready on his firearm. Walk outside.
Are you trying to be, like, stealthy as you approach the door?
Tate would be trying to make it seem like he's not getting there as quickly as he is.
Right, because you loudly, or not loudly, but, like...
I proclaimed I'm gonna go take a piss.
Right.
So I'd want to get to the door quickly.
Oh, kind of like you're standing by the bunk and you're like,
All right, well, hey, I'm going to go take a piss. And then just,
like, you're not sauntering, you're moving with a purpose.
So you get to the door, and you hear the sound of feet quickly moving on dirt.
Door opens.
Door opens. You look out.
Yes, I look out.
You look out. You don't see anything. But you do hear somebody in the shed, like the tool shed that's right next door. Like, it's like right next to the front door.
I will look back to Birdie and be like, try to mouth the words shed to him and kind of make my way a little, just keep heading towards like the tree line.
Out from the shed comes Ranger Leonard holding a hammer. And he sees you walking toward the tree line. Oh, hey there. Yep, just grabbing this. Uh-huh.
Oh, Leonard.
Oh, yep.
Haven't realized he didn't head up yet.
Oh, yeah, I totally spaced. I needed to grab this real quick. Got a nail up there's got to
planks loose, huh?
Yep, gotta get out there real quick. Yep.
I'm just it's a spot in the tree line over there. Just good for me to go take a dump quick.
Oh, yep. Go ahead. Yep.
Awesome.
All right. Yep.
No watching.
Anyway, back to it. Ranger Leonard, holding his hammer, just kind of awkwardly, is like playing with it in his hands, smacking it in his palm. Yep. All right. Well, good luck. Right over there. Yep. All right. Uh-huh.
Thank you, Ranger.
Yep. Hey, sleep tight. All right. Bye.
Ranger.
Yeah.
Left the door open.
Oh, he runs down like the couple flight of stairs he'd gotten up over to the shed, closes it, runs back up. All right, yep, good night. He pops into the lodge, looks at you, Birdie. Hey, good night to you too. Yep, all right.
Yeah, good night.
And Tate's going to go, quote unquote, do his business, which consists of him hiding out in the tree line for a while, watching this ranger station.
Roll a spot hidden while you walk over there.
So I rolled a 10 under 60.
Okay, so you kind of go out into the tree line, into the bush and brush and grass. So you go to take a whiz, and as you're sitting there kind of, writing your name on the leaves, you notice a couple cigarette butts. They look not new, but not fresh. Not old, not ancient. They don't look new, but they don't look like they've been there terribly long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
And if you'd like, I'll let you roll an intuition check.
Fuck me. That's an 86 over 85.
Okay. You don't think anything... Like it's odd you find some cigarette butts. You haven't seen cigarette butts other places.
The Rangers weren't smoking, right?
No.
In our brief time talking to them.
Correct.
Say 45-ish minutes go past of that and watching the fire tower. And
So 45 minutes you're sitting in that spot. Birdie, do you do anything in those 45 minutes?
And the door's still open.
Unless you closed it and went to bed.
I did not close the door or go to bed.
Okay.
Birdie is awake. He hasn't taken off his clothes yet or anything like that. He's just smoking a cigarette. He's just listening. He's a little bored, right? But he's not leaving his post.
Okay.
After about the 45 minutes of watching outside, Tate will try to make his way back into the bunkhouse where Birdie's at.
Mhm.
You know, quietly.
You do. You don't notice anything odd.
Yeah.
You can see a little bit of movement just based on the shadows. The Ranger Tower has, windows. Obviously, it's like an observation thing. From where you are, you can see some shadows move around once in a while. Up in the tower are books and cards, and you would assume the Rangers are entertaining themselves, but you don't see anything odd.
So Tate walks back in. Well, Birdie, it's a little weird that Leonard was still down here, but kind of heard him running away the second I got to the door.
Yeah.
Looking for a hammer in the shed.
Yeah, that ain't right. Yeah, they're a little odd, a little on edge for just being up here on a Ranger Tower, and I really don't like the idea that just west of us here is prohibited, off limits. That makes me question why you would make, open forest off limits. I mean, Rangers are up here. I mean, they build these towers to keep an eye out for fires. It's literally a
I
fire
hear ya.
watch tower.
Yes, sir. I think we probably don't need to flex our authority, but why don't tomorrow we just say we're leaving and circle back around out of their view?
We could do that. I think instead we just tell them that we're going out there.
We can try.
First thing in the morning, we're heading out west, and we're looking for Creedmoor.
I think that's a good idea.
Absolutely. And if
Think,
these folks think that we shouldn't be out there, well, let's just say there's a bit of a pay discrepancy between Forest Ranger and U.S. Marshal.
As you guys are sitting there chatting, you hear a horse whinny in the distance, not terribly far away. And after 15 minutes, you can hear hooves make their way into camp. You hear from up above, hey.
Birdie is going to, hey, Clay, I'm gonna go ahead and step outside for a minute, get some fresh air.
Holler if you need me.
Birdie's gonna walk outside and light a cigarette.
And Tate's going to sit in a way that he can almost kind of see Birdie out, however it works, out the door.
Okay, we'll say you grab one of the chests that's at the end of the bed.
Yeah, scoot it up.
You scoot it up a little bit, sit on it so you can see out the door.
And in that process, will unsheath his rifle.
Okay. Birdie, you walk outside to take a cigarette. Light it up. Take a couple drags. You see a brown horse with a tall-ish guy sitting atop it. He's looking up at the ranger station, or at the tower. You see Leonard's head popping over the edge, and he's kind of, as soon as you walk out, they both stop talking and look over at you.
Evening.
Yeah, evening.
You must be our third ranger out here, right?
Yeah.
U.S. Marshal Hubert Johnson.
Oh,
What's your name?
Ranger Granty. Nice to meet you.
Granny?
Yeah.
All right, nice to meet you too. How was it out there today?
It was fine.
Birdie's going to casually walk towards him and the horse.
The horse looks a little nervous, but not nearly as nervous as he does.
Birdie's going to go, oh, hey there, buddy. Yep. That's a nice mount you got there.
Yeah, she's something. Yep.
Yep. Fine looking mare.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna tie her up for the night.
I mean, you got to get that saddle off, give her a good brushing.
Oh yeah, yep, all that. Mm-hmm. He kind of he dismounts and starts pulling her over toward the stable.
Yep. Do love me horses. Wish my partner and I would have got some for the way up here, man. You guys are out here a ways.
Birdie, you notice, because this is not super hidden, you notice both Ranger Leonard and Conrad are watching you from the tower now.
Birdie will tip his cap.
Leonard nods to you.
So how'd it go out there?
Ranger, are you following him to the stable?
Yep. I mean, I'm not like right next to him. I'm 20 feet away, giving the horse time to get used to my scent.
Mm-hmm. Puffing on your smoke.
Yep.
I was fine. Yep. Fine. Nothing crazy. Roll another secret check for me.
I'm just going to roll it right there and look away. Okay?
Yeah, okay, that works for me. Yep, nothing out of the normal. Yep.
Perfect.
He seems nervous.
Yeah, I do miss the days, just, up in the saddle, the world your oyster.
Yep. Oysters are good. Mm-hmm. He starts, taking the saddle off.
So how long you been out here?
A while.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. A while.
Birdie's going to look at the tower again and just kind of like, does it scream new construction? Does it get the sense that it's been here a while? Judging by the trail, I would assume it's been here a while because hauling all that shit out there.
You would guess, I mean, it's not old. It hasn't been here for decades. You would guess it's been here for at least 5 years. At most 5 years, unless you have like a skill for building or something like that. Maybe, what's your education?
My education is...
Intelligence might be better. I let you argue for either.
My intelligence is 85.
Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll for your intelligence. It's very unlikely that you will fail this.
18.
Okay. Looking at the construction, it seems pretty new. You would guess that it has been no more than 2 years, potentially sooner than that.
Well, I mean, this outpost couldn't have been here all that long. Maybe year, 2 tops. Yeah, you've been here since it went up?
Sure. And he starts brushing the horse now.
All right, cool. Don't mind me, just curious by nature.
Yep, that's okay. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Birdie's going to pull out his flask and take a little nip.
Clay, as this is happening, you can vaguely hear a conversation happening if you're still in the lodge. From how far away you are and the fact that they're now in the stable and you're in the lodge, you can't really understand what they're saying. But you do hear somebody descending from the tower now.
Hearing that, he's going to snuff the lantern so there's no light inside and try to get up and just out the door enough where we can see what's going on, but still kind of stay hidden.
So you're like looking out the door still?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. It is now pretty dark out. There is a lantern lit in the stable.
Mm-hmm.
Ranger Granty has like struck a match, lit one of the lanterns so he can brush the horse and get her ready to tie up and himself go to bed. And around that time, down from the ladder comes Ranger Leonard walking toward the stable. You can see him sitting like in the doorway, but that's it. You can't see up into the tower or anything else.
It's fine. Tate's just watching Leonard approach his partner.
You see Leonard kind of look toward the lodge. Roll like a stealthy check for me real quick. And roll it with advantage since you blew out the lights and it's dark.
I rolled a 71 and a 67 over 60 for stealth.
As Ranger Leonard is walking toward the stable, he kind of looks back toward the lodge, and then he continues walking, and then he stops real quick and looks back toward the lodge. You get the distinct feeling he knows that you're there. And then he walks into the stable. Hey, everything going all right, Granny? Yep, it's going fine. Just chatting with the, what'd you say your name was? It was Marshal, the Federal Marshal?
Yep, you can call me Birdie, though.
Birdie. Oh, yep. Oh, yep. Oh, hey, Birdie. Yeah, everything all right?
Yeah, I think so. Just enjoying some fresh air before I get some shut-eye.
All right. Well, I think it's time we retire. You go on ahead, tie her up. Let's get back up to it.
All right, remember now, you do what you will, and I know it's maybe bad form to tell a man how to tend to his horse, but I'd say in the future you might want to give it a little more time on that brush down. I mean, she did a lot of work for you. You treat her right, she'll treat you right.
You look at the horse, And you would have noticed this while she was walking up too, and I forget because you know horses. She has a little bit of a limp in one of her front right. Her front right leg has a little bit of a limp to it.
I'd keep an eye on that front quarter too if I were you. You know, you don't take it easy on her. Maybe check that hoof.
Oh, yep. We know about it. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like some rough bush out there. So.
Oh yeah, it's rough. It can be unforgiving sometimes. Oh yeah, but we're good.
Birdie's just gonna give the horse a little pat on the hind, and well, gentlemen, I think it's time for me to hang the hat up, as they say.
Yep, and us too. Come on, Granny. Yep.
All right. Good night.
He nods at you. They both walk up toward the tower. You notice Birdie as you're walking back toward the lodge. Conrad sitting there up in the tower, still watching.
Birdie's just gonna give him a little wave.
He makes no acknowledgement in reply.
Good night.
Tate slips in the door just a little bit, waiting for Birdie to come through.
Man, you know, it is dark in here. The lantern go out.
Trying to be a little sneaky, man.
Birdie said that loud enough to let everybody, hey, what's up the lantern?
I think it's out of fuel. And it's easier to sleep in the dark, so.
Yeah, well, I think I saw a can of fuel over in the corner there.
Yeah, I got that for you. And he kind of pulls Birdie in close real quick. I'll take first watch. You got second?
Yep.
Gotcha. Goes and gets the can of fuel. And
Birdie shut the door behind him when he walked in, though. Yeah.
He wouldn't even go get the fuel. Tate goes and relights A, a cigarette, and B, the lantern.
I like that image, yeah. He puts it like in his mouth, muscle memory to light it, and then lights the lantern. Yeah, okay.
He also pulls out a cigarette and lights that.
So, real quick, in the shack, or in the building that we're in.
The lodge.
Is there anything like, you put a chair in front of the door, it's obvious that you're barricading, right?
Right.
You lean something against the door. Birdie's going to lean his shotgun against the door. Like, just kind of like, just set it up against it. It's not near the handle or anything. It's just kind of leaning there.
So, like, if the door opens, it'll make a noise type of thing?
Yeah, it'll fall.
Okay.
Maybe not the shotgun, but...
There are better things to use in the room.
Good.
I can use my walking stick.
The walking stick?
Oh, yeah, the walking stick you cut earlier. I want to give you an idea, but I don't want to baby feed
what's in
you.
the room?
Well, I described it earlier. Roll an idea check real quick. And then I'll give you the idea.
5.
And 26.
I think I might confiscate those dice from you.
These are different dice. I rolled like 4 80s.
Okay. What did you roll?
26.
26? Okay. So he still has his walking stick that he cut with his Bowie knife earlier. And all throughout the rest of the lodge, as described earlier, you see pots and pans and, utensils and shit like that hung up on the wall. And there's, like metal cups, stuff like that in some of the shelves. You would maybe think if you leaned the walking stick against the door handle with one of the metal cups on it, then if the door opens, that would fall and make a loud noise, which would be better than your shotgun.
Correct.
It'd be nice to have that on you if we need it.
Birdie is he's a revolver man at heart.
I got the door, Birdie. Don't worry. And Tate will lean his walking stick against it, walk and grab like one of the metal cups or cutlery plates, whatever's in this lodge area, and kind of hang it on his walking stick. Whereas if the door opens and the walking stick falls, so will then the clatter.
Okay.
And then he'll take a post in kind of the back corner of the room where he has a decent line of sight to the door with his rifle.
So you sit back there, cigarette in mouth, kind of illuminating the rifle a little bit. You pull the bolt open just a smidge to double check that there's a round in the chamber. Close it. Exhale the smoke that you were just inhaling. And you guys go to sleep. Well, you stand watch. Birdie sleeps. Later on, you guys switch places.
The rifle goes back in its sleeve. Birdie, hey.
Yeah.
I gotta get some shut eye now.
Yep. Yeah, sounds right. All right. I'm up.
Tate crawls in onto the cot that he's right by, slides the cotton sheath back over his rifle, which he does sleep with, by the way, and goes to sleep.
And Birdie holds watch.
Hey, everybody. It's Cody coming at you. Got a little bit of a cold. I'm sorry. Please bear with my voice sounding how it does. But really wanted to go over a couple of things with you. Number one, big, tremendous thank you to everybody for listening to the show. Suffer Not has been a long time coming. We've been working on this for a while now, and we've had our ups, we've had our downs, and we're all very excited to finally be able to bring this to you. Also, special thank you to the handful of people who have stuck around from the previous project I worked on. You know who you are. I know I'm not very good at keeping in touch with people, but I really appreciate you guys keeping in touch with me. We also have a website. I'm not a web designer by any means. I did my best, so please hop in the Discord and let me know how terrible and horrible it is. No, I'm just kidding. But on the website, we have some merch. Shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, stuff like that. Link will be down below. We also have a link to our Patreon, where we have a second show called Cylinder Cycle. It's an anthology series where we do one-shots and short adventures in different systems. Primarily, Sadesky will be the DM for that one. Not always. Kind of the whole point of Cylinder Cycle is to mix things up, both for us and for you guys. The first show that we'll have on there will be a Dungeons and Dragons. I believe it's called The Haunt, but it's me, Dubois, and our special guest playing through that with Sadesky in charge. We managed to get through it in, I think, 7 hours, and we'll be posting that 7 hours periodically, once a month on the Patreon. We also have a sticker club and some other stuff on there. Check it out. We also have a Discord. There's already a handful of folks in there, but please hop in, say hi, ask questions, give me all the negative feedback you possibly can, because I know there's plenty. But yeah, I wanna host periodically like events and stuff with people. I don't know what we'll do, but we'll figure it out. It'll be a good time. But yeah, and I guess last thing, if you have friends or family or coworkers who are bored at their 9 to 5 along with you, who you think might possibly be interested in the show, or you know they would be, please, send them a link, share it with them, let them know. Rep your merch if you end up buying some. But overall, at the end of the day, thank you. We'll be posting Tuesdays at 4. Stick around. Thanks. Bye.